Good morning, children. Yesterday we began with the 100 dresses second part. We read that Wanda Petronsky's father had written a letter to the principal of the school that Miss Mason was talking about, and she said that her father did not want his children to study in a school where they were humiliated so badly on account of their funny names or their funny gestures. They were immigrants, and therefore the father thought that it would be better to take the children away from there. While Maddie was very upset that she had contributed into the whatever Peggy was doing with Wanda, into the fun that was there, she never asked Peggy to not make fun of Wanda or anything like that. Therefore, she regretted on that part. We are on page number 75, children. Let's begin. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness. Pretended means she was only showing, she was not sincerely speaking. Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not. Which kid they are talking about? Wanda Petronsky. Because Miss Mason had said that Wanda's father is going to remove the children and he is going to take them away. So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peggy was really all right. The two girls hurried out of the building. Maddie glowed. Maddie was happy because she was already into regret and she was feeling sorry for Wanda. Therefore, she thought that it would be better idea to go to Boggins Heights and express their sorry to her. The two girls hurried out of the building up the street towards Boggin Heights, the part of the town that wore such a forbidding air on this kind of November afternoon, drizzly, damp, and dismal. So, Boggins Heights, children, was already a deplorable area where wet and it was completely sad. It is here, children, expressing a state of hopelessness. So, symbolic of hopelessness. So the writer is giving us idea that they might not find Wanda there. So everything was very sad there. Well, at least, said Peggy gruffly, I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb and gee. Look how she can draw. So Peggy was making herself or giving herself a safe side, and she said that I never call her any time a foreigner or did not make fun of her name. So there she was not wrong. And then she said that she was not having the least idea that Wanda could understand that she was made fun of. So on her account she has not made her feel sad. But she could never imagine that that kind of girl should draw or design these kind of dresses. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her, means they had made fun of her, and how wonderful the whole school thought she was. And please not move away, and everybody would be nice. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. So she wanted to clear this idea to Wanda that nobody felt very bad about her. No, and if anybody fought with her, then Peggy and Maddie would support her. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. I think that's where the Petronskys live, said Maddie, pointing to a little white house. Wisp of old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway like thin kittens. The house and its sparse, means only little yard, looked shabby but clean. So it was like not well furnished, but still it was clean. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. Now, while looking at that deplorable sight of the house, Maddie was remembering her blue dress because she felt that the house was as faded as the dress was. The dress also symbolized that she was very poor, in a very deplorable state, and in the similar manner, the dress was that she used to wear every day. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door. Not sign means they could not find anybody. They could not hear any sound, any noise from there. But there was no answer, no reply. Why? Because nobody was there. It seemed that Petronskis had left the house. She and Maddie went around to backyard and knocked there. Still there was no answer. So nobody replied from the backyard also. So it appeared that they had left. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? Now what would happen? How the girls are going to make amends? How they are going to show that that they were sorry about whatever was being done to Wanda. So how they are going to convey their sorry, how they are going to convey their regret, how they are going to say that they repented about whatever was being done to Wanda or her brother. They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she is gone now, so what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawing. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. So Peggy was again clearing her place. She said that she did not behave badly with Wanda. She has, as said before also on the prior page, on page number 75, that she did not feel that Wanda was able to understand that the people were making fun of her. So she said that she was asking, whenever she was asking about the dresses and she was replying about the 100 dresses, Wanda was actually getting the idea of the designs of dresses. She was having in her mind the designs of 100 dresses, and that is why she could draw 100 dresses so beautifully, and that is why she got the idea to win the contest. Otherwise, she could have not won the contest. So, she had not done anything wrong with Wanda. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. So Maddie also felt that there was nothing to be guilty about, that she also now understood whatever Peggy was saying. So they both, the girls, were not wrong anyway. But that night she could not get to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. So that is why she was not able to sleep. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in the bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought this was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long, long time, she reached an important conclusion. So she felt that she should not feel at all guilty about, and she was though upset that Wanda might feel bad, but she also hoped that whatever Peggy was saying that was right, and Wanda could not understand their jokes. She could not understand that the other people were making fun of her. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. But she pledged that day, she promised herself that day that she is not going to join this kind of fun anymore, and she is not going to make fun of anybody on at least this account, the funny name or the color or if the people had long names. She was never going to stand by. She is never going to support this kind of idea again. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up. So if now she would find that people are being laughed at because of their funny looks or funny names, she is going to oppose the idea. She is not going to support as she had supported earlier Peggy. Even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship, she had no way of making things right with Wanda. So she said that even if she loses the best friendship of Peggy, she would not support her into this. But from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. So she will never make anybody sad on at least this account, on the funny name or the funny looks.